Guys, welcome to episode number 1 of the Derby Career Mode Live, and to start off this episode we are going to be setting up the career mode and getting into FIFA 20. It's been a very long time indeed. Obviously there's a number of new additions to FIFA 20, one of them being manager customization, so let's kick that right off. None of these people really look like me, so I'll just go for the middle one. We're going to try and do this as quickly as possible because obviously there is only 10 hours available on EA Access, so I'm not too bothered what my manager looks like, and I think you can make a few changes when you are actually in the game, so that's not bad. I do like all this new customization, but when you're on only 10 hours, I'm not too bothered, of course. We're just going to go for the clean shaven. Hair, I think I went past hair actually. Try and get something similar to mine. I guess we'll go something like that for the face. Obviously you're not going to get it 100% right, but I don't know if I want like a suit. I think you can actually change the outfits once you're in the game, if I do remember correctly from the beta, which is not too bad, of course. I will just open up the jacket so it's not too restricting, and we'll go with that. I'm going to turn off international job offers. That is a new addition as well, and I think that's really good. To be honest, I think that's something that's going to help out a lot. We do need to change the stadium, but the problem is I don't think you can actually choose and rename the stadium. Oh yeah, edit stadium, cool. So normally I go for Sanderson Park, I'm pretty sure. It's as close as I'm going to get to this real stadium. It's a bit of a shame you can't actually pick official stadiums. You have to go from all these made up ones that EA have made. I would have kind of liked to pick something more realistic. A few of the new features this year on FIFA 20 which makes career mode just so much more dynamic and actually playable is dynamic potentials. Obviously now a player isn't limited, and that's just brilliant, especially with the young players that this Derby team does have. Basically it means I can use players like Sibley, Knight and Buchanan and get them to pretty good ratings. I'm actually going to decline the pre-season tournament just because it is pointless, essentially. It's literally, it's a little bit of money, which I'm not going to need because I don't think I'm going to make any signings, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to make any signings, because I've already kind of made one. Because of the way FIFA works, I've had to bring in ROONEY straight away. It's basically this, or we don't have ROONEY. So I think I'm going to let it happen. I think if I didn't have him in the career mode and then we got to January and he wasn't joining, it just isn't realistic. So I can either leave him in the reserves in the game until January, or we can just include him from the start as a signing. The reason I'm not going to make any signs is because of the dynamic potentials. It basically means I can use players like Knight, Sibley and Buchanan and get these players to 70 rated by the end of the season. Obviously we've got Bielik. We've got a very good team, I must say, this year. There's not really much I want to do with this team. I think a few changes here and there, but overall the balance of the squad's very good indeed. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, do you want me to use ROONEY from the start? The thing is, because he's 33, if I don't use him he will just drop in ratings from the get-go, so it's kind of like if we don't use him till January he'll probably be about 78 rated. If we do use him till January he might be slightly higher, so it's one of those things. One thing I do want to comment on as well is that there's quite a few new player faces, which is quite nice. There's a number of those which just make it a little bit more better and a little bit more realistic. This year there's no blank faces like there was last year. I think pretty much Bogle, for example, who was like 70 rated, didn't have a face till like February. So the reason I didn't accept the pre-season tournaments is because we've already got 8 million plus 100k, and that is a ridiculous amount of money. There's just no need for that much money. So let's have a quick look through the messages and see what the expected expectations and vision of the club is for the season. I think we have to click onto that. We'll go into youth development. So we need to sign 2 players from the youth academy in the defender position. So the thing is with that, we've got Bogle on the right, Low on the left, and then we've got Buchanan in the middle or left back. So it's to get a youth player into that back four is going to be very difficult indeed. But obviously we're going to have to do that as a critical priority. Then we've got this one, which is essentially random. Like, I don't have any control of this. I don't know how I can change the percentage of attendance in 5 consecutive home games. That is literally crazy. That's one thing I could do. I could get rid of players like Akechi Anya, who just isn't involved in the first team at the minute, of course. Domestic success is to fight for promotion. I think that's pretty much. I've been promoted every single time on this career mode. and I don't see it changing. The thing is we're going to do this year is, because we're not making any real signings, obviously we've got ROONEY, I'm going to be using a lot more 55 to 60 rated players and just make it a little bit more difficult, because in the past, although I have gone through the playoff final a few times, so I've not made it completely cleanly, but yeah, we've always been promoted without any real jeopardy. There's never been a place where I've gone, oh, we're not going to get promoted and we're going to have to do another year in the championship. So yeah, we're gonna be trying to use especially these three, especially all four of these players, Bird, Knight, Sibley and Buchanan. Obviously they're all under 20 years old, so it would be brilliant if you could, with the new dynamic potentials, get them up to an 80. George Thorne has actually gone out on loan to, I think, Oxford United. I think he's gone out on loan there, so that's one player we could just loan off and then get rid of that reduced wage thing. The only other thing is we have got technically four left backs at the club, so maybe moving on Forsyth. However, he has only got 1 year left on his contract. I think the only thing I would want to do in terms of signings is getting someone like really, really long term, and signing them this season, and maybe even loaning them out, something like that. I'm not too sure, so I'll just scout all these players. I won't go for Chong because he's quite well known. Morgan Feeney, obviously a 20-year-old centre back there, probably got decent potential, very good strength. Also on the signing front, I think a goalkeeper would be the only position I'd probably look at. We did get Ben Hamer on deadline day, but I think we could have done with a bit of a better goalkeeper. I think 68 and 66 isn't great, and they're not exactly going to grow in stats, so maybe looking at a goalkeeper might be the one signing that I do make on top of ROONEY, of course. So obviously we do have Scott Carson on loan at Manchester City. A tiny little bit of me wants me just to recall him, and that just fixes our goalkeeper position. It really annoys me that Carson's not been given the chance under the new manager, of course, but he's got a pretty good move to Manchester City, of course, and a potential Premier League or Champions League medal at the end of the year. Another reason I don't want to make any signings as well is because we've actually got a lot of signings already, which I haven't used yet. Basically, we've got Shitty, Clark, Dowell, Patterson, Curtis Davis is like a new signing, obviously coming back from injury. Also got all the youngsters obviously coming in through the team. And Bielik, I think Bielik's a big one because obviously he can play centre-back or CDM. So one thing we'll quickly do is list up George Thorne to be loaned. Obviously we don't really need him at the club, we've got a number of central midfielders, and just to make it authentic basically, obviously ROONEY joining the club isn't 100% authentic. One thing I've just noticed is you've got the catalogue, which no longer is used on Ultimate Team, but you can obviously get Future Star, Financial Takeover and stuff like that, so that's one thing we can look at. I don't know if that was a thing last year, manager focused training session. Obviously it just increases the amount you get from training. Yeah, another thing is we've got all the kits this season. Last year we only had the home and the away kit. This year we've got the third kit as well, which is really nice. Just makes a little bit of variety, obviously not seeing exactly the same kits over and over again. Straight away we do have a transfer offer here from Rayo Vallecano for Craig Forsyth. As I said, one of the players that I wouldn't mind letting go just because he is 30 years old, and we do have like 4 left backs at the club. What I'll do for now is I'll get your guys' feedback. Obviously I like to keep it interactive, and this is one thing as well this year, we've got this interaction with the players, so it's kind of nice. Obviously I can be that link between you guys and the players, and yeah, I think some of these, like especially this one, you can't really give a wrong answer, but if you do give a wrong answer in some of them, it will cause players to get upset and probably leave the club. Obviously without any pre-season tournament, it basically means we've got a little bit of a wait. Normally obviously we'd make signings, but I don't think it's necessary. I'll get your guys' feedback if you do want me to make any signings. Let me know down below. But I think just to make it realistic, like I don't want to just make like 5 or 6 signings and have another 5 or 6 players to think about. I think we've got enough players at this club that basically do what I need them to do. I don't think there's anything like this is essentially what I'm going to go for. I'm also thinking about a 3 at the back. That's also one option with Bielik just slotting in there. We might drop Huddleston for Shinny just for a bit more legs. Also Huddleston only has where is it, 34 stamina, so he can only play 34 minutes of a game before he's actually run out of stamina. So you know, it's one of those things where he's probably not going to be able to use after January, because at 32 as well, that stamina will just keep decreasing. It's a little bit annoying, but it's bloody EA just being absolutely wonderful with their stats. Like, when do you see Tom Huddleston ever come off the pitch? Like, yeah, he's not the most mobile, but I think stamina, it should be at least like 50. As you see there, Shinny's got 94, so he could just run all day long. So I've got the scout report back here from Jack Walton. At 61 rated, at 21 years old, that's the kind of thing I want to sign. If any of you guys can think of any players in the comment section down below, I think like a young goalkeeper, maybe from abroad, somewhere like Italy or Spain, that would be quite cool as well. It's a bit sad when you just see Harry Wilson and Mason Mount and Tamori just all doing lovely and well in the Premier League now, and we're down in like 19th in the table, but that's football at times. I think Blackburn made an interesting signing today. They made Lewis Holtby from Hamburg. That's quite an interesting one. Obviously, former Spurs player. Yeah, there's nothing that goes to my head and goes, we need this right now. Like, Kellerus is all right in goal, at least until January, and I think it just makes it a little bit better. I don't want to go out and just sign a goalkeeper and fix that problem straight away. I want to kind of have a little bit of a difficulty in the first few months, because that's what's happening in real life. Basically, it's a new manager trying to implement his style. So the transfer window's still, I'm pretty sure it should, maybe because obviously this is a game and EA can't program it properly, the transfer window should technically should have closed on the 30. Am I right in that? I'm pretty sure it didn't stay open. Yeah, because yeah. So basically, this is a worldwide transfer window now. It doesn't have what it should be. Basically, it should have ended before the Huddersfield game. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know. I think it should have closed before that. But that's brilliant for you guys. Basically, it means now we can get some feedback and make some signings in the next episode, of course, if need be. But we do have QPR in the first round of the Carabao Cup, which is a bit of a shame because I would have liked either a League 2 or League 1 team. We've got QPR, quite a tough team, of course, which I do like that we've got the correct fixtures as well. That's one thing in the past few years. The fixtures haven't been correct, and it's just a nice little thing. You can just follow the team as it goes along. Obviously, we're about to play Leeds tomorrow, so is it tomorrow? No, day after tomorrow. But yeah, we've got a pretty tough, like, I think from the start we've had, like, you look at those teams there, Huddersfield, former Premier League team, Swansea doing absolutely amazingly, Stoke got some brilliant players, maybe could have done a bit better at Stoke, but I'm not too annoyed at how Koku's done in these first few games, because he's had a very tough start. There's not really been, like, some of these Barnsleys and Lutons and Charltons. That's a very nice month, October there. You've got some very beatable teams. Yeah, we'll go into the first game against Huddersfield, of course. Hopefully get the 2-1 win, which we did get in real life. But yeah, like some of these young players, like Hornby here, 62 rated. I think he's like a target man, basically. Oh, that's sad, isn't it? Just seeing for we just saw Harry Wilson. Stop showing me the players' game. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to sign any of these players that absolutely carried us last season. We're going to try and make some interesting signings because of the new dynamic potentials. You can basically, every career mode is going to be unique. Not every career mode is going to have, like Rashford's not going to get to 90. Well, he's probably going to get to 90 rated, but those kind of players aren't predetermined potentials. So that's very good indeed. Like, we could get Jack Marriott to a 80 very easily by the end of the season. We could easily get Matt Clark to an 80, Bielik to an 80. Like, that's something that's really brilliant, because it basically depends on how well I play the game and the potentials of the players. About to go into the first game then against Huddersfield. Obviously, we did play last on the Monday night. Pre-match press conference. Obviously, this is a new feature as well. We'll attend this, see all the new features.
Okay, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming. We're going to start with questions now.
There's me, of course, manager. No name. Like, I've put my name in. That could be a little thing, you know. You just put the surname in there instead of manager. How you're prepared? Can you give me some responses? We have got a lot of quality in the squad. There's no, like, we could get like 2 or 3 injuries in each position and still have as good of a player in that position. Is promotion more than a dream? No, it's a realistic expectation. We have what it takes. Look at that. Look at that morale. Happy. It's going up. Can we get it to full? It would be nice if we could actually hear these things, not just reading. It's going to get a little bit repetitive, that's the only thing about this. Will you look to buy some players? We're good all over the pitch, to be honest.
That's all we've got time for today. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Like, audio is such a big thing. Like, if they just hired some voice actors to say those already scripted words, it would just make it just that little bit extra, and it's not going to cost them that much. So yeah, let's head into the first game against Huddersfield at the John Smith Stadium. It should be a Scan Stadium as well in the game. So yeah, as I said before, I don't know if it'll make the edit or not, but we have got all 3 kits this year. We played the home kit, which is a bit weird in this game, I'm pretty sure. Or did we play the home... I'd play the alternate kit, to be honest, because they've got blue and white, and I don't want to clash, so we'll go for the black kit. It's my career mode, I can do what I want. One thing I will look at, obviously it depends on how difficult it is my first game of FIFA 20, but what I did in the past is basically change the sliders, so we'll do that throughout the career mode. We'll leave it on legendary for now. 6-minute halves, that looks good to me, and I think we will go with this lineup. I don't think there's anything I really want to change. I'll leave Rooney there for now just to get your guys' response and what you want to do. But yeah, I think I'm overall... Maybe put Mason Bennett on the bench, just because he's a little bit more... I don't know. Into the first game of the season then. Very nice indeed to see a Scan Stadium, as I said, when I was picking the stadium. It just makes it a little bit better, of course. I think these are new graphics to start off the game. I'm kind of tempted to skip them because in the past you've actually got copyright strikes because they are so accurate compared to the real thing. So what I did in the past is basically just look at the first team 11 like this. So they've got Schofield in goal, Duhaney at right back, Edmonds, Green at centre back, Schindler, Brown, Hogg, Daly, O'Brien, Sabiri, there we go, Karoma and Rowe up front. Very different to the team that actually played us in real life, and we've got quite a different lineup as well. Jack Marrott obviously wasn't quite fit for this game. I'm interested to see how Matt Clark does, because obviously I think he's on loan. We'll have to have a look at that technicality. It might be a permanent just because of the way Premier League teams have so many players. One thing I do quickly need to do is change the camera angle. I'm not too sure if this camera angle is what I normally have, but we'll go with it for now. One thing straight away, gameplay wise, wow, this game's quick. Compared to the demo, this is rapid. Huddersfield on the edge of the box here, nice bit of passing play. Ball out wide to O'Brien, gets it across the face of goal. Tackle from Malone, but it's gone into the back of the net and mess up with Kelleroos. 6 minutes in and we've already conceded our first FIFA 20 goal. And that's a new... I think that camera movement was quite new. It's a little bit more realistic. Normally they just run straight at the camera. Also new fan reaction kind of stuff in the stadium, but very, very good. I thought I got the foot in there with Malone. Kelleroos didn't quite read it, and yeah, it's kind of deflected off the defender and gone through for him, and they've made it 1-0. Waghorn with the ball in the box here with the shot. Since the back of the net, we've scored our first goal of FIFA 20 with the wrong number, Martin Waghorn, obviously because we did move Rooney to the club. I think basically the kit numbers have switched. So I'll quickly do that after the game, of course. But yeah, we've got our first goal. Did come off the defender here, tried it first, but got it back. Then tried again, and that's one thing. Obviously, we've got Lawrence on the left who can cut in, Waghorn on the right who can cut in as well, and it's paid off there. There's half time against Huddersfield, 1-1 at the minute. Obviously, those first 2 goals coming quite early on. I don't know if the EFL badge on the arm's just not rendered properly there or something, but it doesn't quite fully show. But I'm not too sure about Bielik in midfield. That's the only thing I'm a little bit contemplating at the minute, whether he has the passing for it. But Waghorn's in the box here with the shot wide of the post. How has he pulled that? Should have been back of the net. Ball goes into the box, cross into the near post, and it is in the back of the net. Huddersfield have found the lead with a very nice goal there. It seems to be the ball goes out wide and then they get numbers in the box. Like, you've got a couple of players there running towards it, and I have not quite read that well. And Kelleroos again, is his positioning quite right there? Has he done all he can? Maybe a goalkeeper is what we do need to sign in this window. Ball into Waghorn. It's in the box. Into Patterson. Can he lay it off for Waghorn? Yes, he can. With the shot into the back of the net. Martin Waghorn hopefully gets us a point there. It's probably what we deserve. Like, I think the two Huddersfield chances are pretty much against the run of play. We've had a lot of possession. Nice bit of play. A very nice cut in there from Patterson and straight across goal from Martin Waghorn on his left foot. Gets the second goal. And there's full time against Huddersfield. We have drawn 2-2. Not quite the win that we got in real life, but a very interesting game. Obviously 2 goals for each team. I learned quite a bit about gameplay. Obviously it was my first game, so I wasn't going to be completely slick with it. Obviously Waghorn with the 2 goals with his left foot, very nice indeed. But as you can see there, 2 shots on goal, 2 goals. It's one of them. Into the post-match interview then.
Time for a few questions.
Go on then. Shoot me. Is a draw? Yeah, sure, I'm happy with it. A draw away from home from a recently relegated team, I'm more than happy with that. There you go, see, it's a marathon, not a sprint, Like Norwich were down in 19th this time last year. Look at them now, beating Man City. So yeah, the one thing with those post-match interviews and pre-match interviews, I don't know if I'll put them into the videos. They just seem like I do need to keep the morale of the team up. But it's a question of, do you guys want me to answer the same 10 questions over and over again? It's going to be a little bit boring because I'm essentially just going to answer the same over and over again. That's the thing I saw the issue with the new post-match interview system, because it's not been properly done. Like, you could have done it so much more advanced and actually have an effect, like depending on what you say. And in a way it does, but not to the extent that it should be. So I think on that note, we are going to end off the episode here. We did get the first game against Huddersfield in. Let me know in the comment section down below. Firstly, do we make signings? Do we need to make any signings? That's the question. I just feel we've got enough players. Like, I'd like to get rid of Thorne and Anya, but other than that, I'm pretty happy. And let me know if we should use Wayne Rooney before January. He has actually gone up in stats, which is quite interesting. Yeah, the thing is with Rooney, you can just play him in so many positions. He can go play in cam. That's probably where I'd put him. And then it would free up the space for Holmes to move out wide. And then Marriott and Waghorn can battle out for the first team striker position. Also could play CDM. You could put him in. You could put Rooney literally anywhere. He could play anywhere he wants. He's that good. We've also got players like Dowell, obviously not done too well in real life, but maybe on the game he's a little bit better. Yeah, I'd like to get these youngsters involved. That's the main thing. If I make signings, it basically blocks these players being able to develop in the team. So I think that's all we've got time for in this episode. So let's just quickly have a look where we are in the table. After one game, we are 11th in the league, so already higher than where we are in real life. Great job, Luke. But yeah, I think, just let me know. Shall we use Rooney? And it's good to be back. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, so maybe I'm a bit rusty. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Leave a like rating if you did enjoy, and see you soon. Bye.